Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to this week trade recap video. Last week I only entered 4 positions. Silver is the only position that's running right now, and I did close down oil, UK oil for about 0.40% profit, and it closed down Dow Jones for a 1% loss, and Euro Pound here for a 1% loss. So let's take a look at these trades, one of my management, analysis, entry, and overall outlook on the pairs. So starting with silver here. Those of you who follow me for a while know that I had two silver position that was running for the bullish upside, and I had to close down due to a larger, deeper correction that was forming here. Now I did get some okay profit there. If I recall, it was about 2.5% or so between the two trades. But my analysis, my overall management at the time was when the price hit this previous high, I want to monitor to see whether or not we're going to break through or form into a deeper consolidation, which is exactly what's happening here. Because I was looking at the left side here, and to me, that was a bigger inverse head and shoulder that could potentially form here. And basically, this has to correct the overall bullish up move that has already happened. So to me, I was fine kind of exiting the two previous position, and I'm ready to get back into it if the price develop into the right price action. So overall, high time frame, I think we're pretty close. It's exactly the same as what I've been talking about for the last few weeks, with this larger kind of parallel channel structure. We have the double bottom here and descending channel correcting the price down. And then on the lower time frame here, we not only have this smaller inverse head and shoulder, and that was one of the entry here that I took, and the second scale in entry. So this overall impulsive move now is forming into this deeper consolidation. And I basically had to wait till this correction finished, and I like what I see here at the bottom of the correction. We had a move down pretty impulsively on the lower time frame, and we correct itself and then push down once again. But naturally, it didn't continue lower. It did not form further bearish continuation. Instead, it is a reversal impulse. As we talk about in many of my educational video, when you see these kind of move, when the impulse isn't followed by correction to go lower, it's not even followed by reversal. It's just followed by a straight up bullish impulse. So this is exactly what I talk about, a reversal impulse, and then if it's followed by that continuation, it has a very good chance of continue to the desired direction. So I like the inverse head and shoulder. I like this right shoulder completion, and I see the impulse breaking out of that correction and basically was waiting for a continuation correction. So to me, when I go down to lower time frame, there was a consolidation here, and this was during on Friday when the NFP news was coming out. So I was kind of just waiting to see what will happen here, whether or not we're gonna just kind of start crashing down more due to the news, or we're going to form into a consolidation, which is exactly what I want to see. So with a few swing highs and few swing low, that to me is a consolidation that was correcting this overall bullish move. So I've end up with the entry order, just put the entry order above the top of the correction and then just put the stop loss below. To me, this was just due to news and spread. So it's not, I don't need to put the structure like this. I think this is the previous low, or this is the swing low of this consolidation that I'm looking at. So I'm happy to just put the stop loss below. Price tag me here during Friday and just hover around here. So just running about just a little bit in profit right now, so not too much. I will consider this still just kind of break even. But the overall bias, the overall analysis is there. Still looking for this previous high as a first target, and then the top of the descending channel as a second potential target. And the overall higher time frame still gives you that bullish bias, right? This is a higher time frame impulse, higher time frame consolidation, and you're looking for another impulse move to the upside. So that is silver, the only position that I have currently running. Let's look at a few positions that I closed down. When we look at UK oil here, UK oil, I was talking about a potential down move from the price when we're at the top of the overall structure. Then I was looking at this as a head and shoulder pattern. And again, looking at the right shoulder here, I like how we have the right shoulder after this impulsive move to the downside. And then there's a little bit of a consolidation here. So to me, this is more like an ascending structure. So I like how we have ascending structure within the right shoulder, and we have the head and shoulder pattern, and we have the double top here as well on the higher time frame, and the overall structure here is looking for a bearish kind of sell down. And if you look deeply here, all I did was setting the entry order just below the correction here, and again stop loss above the high of this consolidation, so about $1 here. And price taking me in originally didn't do too much. It kind of hover around here a little bit, and then eventually pushed down to about 1 to 1 or so. And as usual, my management here is to move it to break even. Now I did a little bit something different here. When I I'm fine was holding to the correction to see if it's going to go down lower. But what I didn't really like is once price hit about 1 to 1, it had this really bullish kind of reversal up move, and it was forming into kind of a continuation of the lower time frame. And I've been kind of backtesting something like this for a little bit last couple of weeks. Is that on the lower time frame after impulse and move down, when they start forming into a potential kind of inverse head and shoulder, they generally did have the continuation momentum to the upside and kind of reversing the price. So this is kind of what I was saying at the time. It's like I hit 1 to 1 risk reward and then start forming into this inverse head and shoulder and this push up followed by correction. It's looking pretty strong. So I just decided to move my stop loss here just above the correction here. And I was fine getting tagged out here. I just didn't want to take another break even in this case. I don't think that is. I want to kind of secure a little bit of profit, judging by what how the last month has gone. I had a loss in the last month. I think it was about 3% or 4% loss, and I want to see. They want to take a break even here, knowing that there's a few. Many often in this kind of situation, when the price reverse, I would end up taking a break even, and decide to exit the trade when decide to move down the stop loss to above that correction there, and then price basically just hit me out here, and then just continue to the downside. So lesson learned here, right? So for me, of course, I can't manage best to my ability every single time, but to me at the time with the lower time frame, I decided to manage this way. And if I haven't do that, well, price when I hit my target and when I start reversing, I probably get at 1 or 2, 1.5 or 1% or so. So something to reflect on my journal, something to certainly to look back into or perhaps back test a little bit more on these kind of situation on the lower time frame. So that is UK oil out for a 0.40% profit. Let's look at a couple of trades that closed down that were in a loss. So starting with Dow Jones here. So Dow Jones, again, I was looking at a potential bearish sell down, right? When we're at the top of the overall structure of this higher time frame kind of ascending structure that we can see, and price once again hit the top of the overall structure, which is what I like. We have a few swing highs, we have a few swing lows. So I like the structure at the time when I was looking at this lower time frame development here. Not only we have the higher time frame structure, we also have a lower time frame kind of ascending channel as well. And if we dig even deeper here, not only we have that little ascending channel, we also have a head and shoulder pattern as well. So I decided to enter at the break of this ascending channel at the break of the right shoulder as well. So consider this as a potential breakout entry. So set the entry order below the correction, and then just put the stop loss above the high of the right shoulder. So I think it was about $150 or so. But price basically just tagged me in here and then slowly move up here and then tag me up for a full 1% loss. So when something like that happens, when I see further kind of bullish momentum to upside, this is usually I'll be a little bit more cautious now. Even though I like the overall structure and everything that to me is more of the bearish potential at the time. But if this move continue to move up, and obviously we cannot get married to our analysis. We're looking to see if this is going to turn into a bullish continuation to upside. Then pretty much everything we kind of originally look at may not be applicable anymore. And that's a time for you to understand, or for me to understand, we cannot marry to our analysis. Once the price decide to change direction and give you a different bias, we have to accept that our previous forecast or previous analysis wasn't working out, and then we have to drop that, have a new fresh look into it, and then possibly look for long if it does continue to the upside, if it does continue with a continuation after. So that is Dow Jones out for 1% loss. And last one I want to go over is Euro Pound actually. So Euro Pound, not sure some of you guys who caught this one, but this one did kind of play out in our analysis. We're looking for an upside move, but just because of the entry and the management side, just couldn't catch this potential run to the upside. Now, we know that the higher time frame, again, we have this kind of higher time frame parallel channel. So a little bit more descending like, which is what we want to see if we're looking for a bullish reversal. And again, higher time frame, few swing highs and few swing low. This is good to see. And on the lower time frame here, we have this kind of a expanding structure. Again, expanding structure is a little bit more advanced. I talk about in my educational video. I want to be a little bit more cautious when dealing with expanding structures because they can either be continuation or possible reversal, which is in this case. So I waited for the price to break out of that expanding structure, and on the lower time frame, I was looking for the first continuation correction. Price pushed up, form a little bit of continuation again as usual. Set the entry order above the correction and set the stop loss below. 20 pips is the minimum that I will enter in any of these positions. So price tag me here, hovering around here, not much to do, and then just gonna push down here and then eventually take me off for a 1% loss. Now, when I was looking at this afterwards, and I think there was some pound news here, and the pound news end up pushing the price up here. But again, due to the management side of things, I entered with the 20 pip stop loss. This is a correction after breakout. One of my entry that I always talk about, one of the go-to setups I always talk about. So even though I took a loss here, I don't think about the loss that much. I more think about, is my analysis overall correct? Is the direction of the potential move correct? That's what makes me going to be more positive about the outcome rather than being negative here, because taking a loss here is totally fine, but is your analysis overall correct? Does that align with the overall higher time frame? I think that's more important here. Taking a loss here, that definitely is a lesson learned here, right? Because we can certainly expect that potentially price was just forming into more of a wedge or a descending channel here and potentially push up after. So again, something to looking back into in terms of management side of things. But overall, to me, I'm more pleased about the overall bias was correct and the price is pushing up. So now we're going to see whether or not the price will continue pushing above the higher time frame kind of parallel descending structure, and if there's continuation to push up the price more, and that would be nice to see. So that is Euro Pound off for 1% loss. So to recap, four trades last week, only one trade that's currently running. Euro Pound took a 1% loss. Dow Jones here took a 1% loss, and UK oil I'm out for here for about 0.40 profit. And silver is the current position that is running right now. It's just hovering around break even, so I'll just consider that as a break even for now. But any question, comment, feedback, we're going to let me know, guys. And I'll see you all tomorrow in my weekly trading market outlook. Thank you very much.